Hello, ghosties. You're listening to Not My Ghost.
Not My Problem. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Jen.
Whether you're a skeptic, a true believer, or somewhere in between, join us for a journey into the unknown.
Because remember, when it comes to the paranormal, it may not be our problem.
But it's certainly someone's problem. Dearest listeners, it's a very sad day for me still, because I still don't have my retainer that will allow me to speak normally, and it's getting old.
Yeah, I can bet.
We have an episode we need to film for Patreon. That will be video, and I'm not doing that without a tooth. And we have another episode that I want to record that is a great episode for me, and I have a lot to say about it, and I want to be able to speak as normally as possible when we record that.
Yeah, so we keep putting it off.
Yeah, I've been told that this week is the week, so everybody, by the time you're listening to this, I better have it.
Oh, you better.
Yeah, yeah. Or else I spent all of my time with you missing a tooth.
Which I'll love you anyway, but it's fine.
I know. I still want one.
I know. We had such a great time together, though, didn't we, Kelly?
We had a blast. Oh my gosh, so much fun. We got so much done on the podcast.
Yeah, and I'm sure you guys saw all of our pictures that have definitely already been posted.
Yep, sure have.
Mm-hmm. It's weird being so ahead on the podcast and filming like over a month in advance. It's interesting.
Yeah, I struggle with how much do we let the listeners know? Like, how much does it take them out of the experience of like, oh, I'm listening to this in December, but it was filmed a month before. Like, I don't know.
I think that's pretty common with most podcasts being pretty far in advance. I know just recently on Two Girls, One Ghost, last summer, one of the hosts, Corinne, had a baby and she was on maternity leave. And they kept the entire thing going. They recorded all of the episodes before she went out on maternity leave for the entire summer and plus.
Wow, they must have been busy.
And it was wonky watching it because, yeah, they weren't even recorded in order. So like it was really strange sometimes. And they admitted to it too. They were like, this might be out of order and I don't know what day this episode airs. And it was chaos, but I loved every second of it. And they
have real lives.
Yeah, exactly. And they worked their ass off to make sure that the podcast kept going while, Corinne was out on leave. And that was great. I give them total kudos for that.
Yeah.
I think most of the listeners just care that we're putting together a good, fun story to tell them. The listeners just care that we give them good, fun, spooky stories and that we continue to, hopefully, at least talk about ourselves so they can learn even more about us. They don't care what order it's in.
Yeah. And we tell them everything about us because, well, we have no shame.
Yeah, pretty much.
That said, oh, by the way, welcome to our scripted, unscripted banter.
Welcome.
I do have a question for you.
Okay, let me hear.
I actually have two because I feel like the first one will go quite quickly. Is there a place that you would refuse to visit or investigate because of the paranormal activity there?
So far, no. I haven't seen any location that would make me say no. But if I got to a location and I felt like there was demonic things, I might peace out.
Yeah, I kind of feel like there's nothing that I know of right now that I would say I wouldn't go to.
Yeah.
And I've been to a couple of places with some pretty scary entities that are there.
Yeah.
But I would have to evaluate each location based on how I feel when I get there.
That's kind of my thought. Like it's going to be more of a feeling once I'm there and kind of what's starting to happen. But as of right now, I haven't seen any places being investigated that I would be like, nah, I don't even want to attempt it.
Yeah, same. Okay, well, I'm still going to ask you the second question.
Okay. What's my second question?
If you weren't into the paranormal and we weren't doing this podcast, what would your normal hobby be?
My normal hobby? I mean, crocheting, I guess. I crochet for
Yeah,
anyone who didn't know.
she does.
I do that.
Anything else?
No, I mean, occasionally I get into video games. I'm not like a big gamer, but when I get into a game that I like, then like that it consumes all of my time. Like when the Hogwarts Legacy came out and I finally got it because initially, so way too much information, but that's what I'm going to do. Initially, Hogwarts Legacy, for anyone who knows, came out on a bunch of different gaming platforms. And the only one that I owned was the Nintendo Switch. So I was waiting for it to come out on the Switch. And the date kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And I got so pissed because it was out on other platforms. My boyfriend at the time had an Xbox and I had finally was just like, fine, I'm just going to buy it for the Xbox and use his. And then, like 2 weeks after I bought it, we broke up. And I was like, I'm taking your Xbox because I just spent $60 on this game and I am going to play it. God damn it. And he gave it to me. He was nice. He hadn't used it in years and he wanted to buy the new one anyway. So
Oh,
it worked out.
yeah, that was decent.
Mhm.
I think for me, I love stand up comedy. And one day I always tell myself I'd like to give that a go.
Oh, yeah. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
I've thought about that before.
And also painting.
Yeah. You're really good at it.
I don't think I'm good at it at all, but I
You are.
am. I think I would be a lot better if I had more time to devote to
Yeah.
painting.
I agree.
Yeah.
I paint a little bit, but not much. I get into the paint by numbers because it gives me a really it's very tedious and it's great like kind of to get my mind off of other things and then it gives me a really pretty picture that I can hang on my wall.
See, when I look at the paint by numbers, I get overwhelmed very
Mhm.
easily. And then I feel like I want to throw it out the window. Same with puzzles.
Yeah.
Just looking at a puzzle laid out, I feel panic inside because it's too much that I can't put it, too much chaos that I can't make orderly fast enough.
That's fair. I like puzzles, but my problem with puzzles is just there's no place to keep it
Right.
because I'm also very much like that type of thing. I will do it and then I'll walk away and I might not touch it again for like 4 days and then I'll come back and do it for a couple hours and then walk away. So I would need like one of those puzzle tables that you can like close up and hide it.
Or a
Otherwise it
mat.
just makes a mess.
They make mats that you roll up and it kind of keeps it like together, what you
Oh,
had put
okay.
together. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, are we ready to get in?
But will it keep all of my sorted pieces together?
Yeah.
Because I'm a sorter when I do my puzzles.
However you have it laid
Like,
out on the mat, when you roll it, it just keeps it like keeps all the pieces flat and then it just like rolls it up.
okay.
Yeah. All right. Are we ready to get into today's topic?
I am.
All righty. Picture this: snow covered peaks, cozy fireplaces, and the crisp air of a winter getaway. Sounds perfect, right?
I'm already scared. Sounds awful. I don't like winter.
But what if your ski lodge came with a few unexpected guests? Now that would get you there.
Okay, now you're talking more my speed.
And I'm not talking about the ones who raid the hot cocoa station.
Oh, those are jerks.
Today we are diving into the icy abyss of haunted winter resorts, where ghostly skiers share the slopes, and the crackling fire may not be the only thing making noise at night. We'll uncover the bone-chilling story of two Colorado winter resorts
Ooh.
and what makes these destinations unforgettable in more ways than one. So bundle up, grab your snow boots, and maybe a lucky charm or two. We're about to hit the slopes where the paranormal meets the powder.
I like how you say bundle up, and I'm sitting here in a tank top and shorts with my window open.
I had my window open too. It was like
Okay.
50 something today. It was kind of warm.
We got up to 78 today.
Yeah, I hope the weather keeps up like this so I can get in that pool when I come out.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Recently, it hasn't been pool weather. We've had a day or two here or there. Like a couple days before Thanksgiving, it was pool weather.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
I mean, of course, we already know whether the weather has
Oh,
been good enough
absolutely,
or
yeah,
not
because
for you to go swimming.
I'm back home already. Yeah,
Absolutely. You've already come to visit,
yep.
and you may or may not have gotten in the pool.
I mean, I may or may not have taken advantage of the fact that the pool is also heated.
It is also
Yeah.
heated.
So before we get into our resorts, I do have some facts for you.
Okay.
And these facts are about Colorado because both of our resorts are in Colorado.
I've never been.
Me neither.
I want to go, but not in the winter.
No, not in the winter. No. Colorado is known for its craft beer scene and has the highest number of microbreweries per capita in the US. Denver, especially, is a hub for lubbers, for beer lubbers,
Lubbers.
for beer
Lubber, lubber, lubber.
lovers. And the Great American Beer Festival is held there every year.
That sounds fun. Is that not in the winter? I would go to that.
I'm not sure. We can go to that.
Yeah.
All right. Colorado was the first state in the US to legalize recreational marijuana in 2012,
Whoa, whoa.
leading the way in terms of marijuana policy reform in the country. The move has contributed to the state's growing tourism and economy.
Mhm. I wish Florida would have listened because Florida decided to be assholes and not vote. Well, they did. It actually won the popular vote. It just didn't reach the 60% it
Yeah,
needed to
that's
be
why they set
legal.
it at 60% because they knew it would
Exactly.
pass at 50. So,
Yeah, at 50. I think it was at like 56, 57.
yeah.
Close, but no cigar.
Colorado is also home to Mount Evans Scenic Byway, which is the highest paved road in North America. It reaches an elevation of 14,130 feet at the summit of Mount Evans, offering breathtaking views and a unique driving experience. Now, I believe this is the highway that my very dear friend Michelle drove up when she was visiting a couple years ago. And what makes this drive particularly harrowing is there are no guardrails on the road.
Oh, God, no. I couldn't do it.
And she was telling me that sometimes people get sick because of the altitude
Hmm.
and they have to take a break. And sometimes people are so scared they have to call emergency services to come rescue them because they cannot drive any further.
That would be me.
I wouldn't even try it.
No, actually, it wouldn't be me because I wouldn't
Yeah,
try
I
it.
wouldn't try it at all.
I don't know if I would want someone else driving me.
Right. No, but if I was paralyzed with fear, I might need
Oh,
somebody to
yeah.
do it.
But I'm saying, like, if I was there and someone else wanted to drive it and they would drive and me just be in the car, I don't think I could do it.
Yeah.
Reminds me of when you say no guardrails and this isn't driving, it's just walking, which is arguably worse. But the west rim of the Grand Canyon is the only part I've been to. So I don't know how the rest of it is. But there's no guardrails
Yeah.
when you go. There's you just walk out on a cliff. And if you accidentally trip, you're falling to your death.
Yeah. I won't be doing that.
Yeah, I did.
You fell to your death?
We No, I walked out. I actually did the glass floor in the West Rim
I might
where
be
you
able to
actually
do
walk
that.
out. I couldn't. No, I would never do it again. Never,
Really?
ever, ever again in my entire life.
I would
Yeah.
try it. I don't know if I'd be able to do it, but I would try it.
Well, you can try and I'll wave at you from the side of the cliff
Sounds
because I
good.
won't do it again.
Are you ready for some scary facts about Colorado?
Always, of course.
Perhaps one of the most famous haunted locations in Colorado, the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, was the inspiration for Stephen King's The Shining. Built in 1909, the hotel is renowned for its ghostly activity, with reports of eerie laughter echoing through the halls, phantom music playing in the ballroom, and strange apparitions in the windows. Guests and staff have experienced mysterious knocks on doors, flickering lights, and the sound of footsteps echoing through the empty hallways. The most famous spirit is that of Flora Stanley, the wife of the hotel's founder, who is said to haunt the grand staircase and occasionally make her presence known to guests in the lobby.
I want to go to that. That sounds fun.
Yeah, me too. Denver International Airport is home to a host of bizarre conspiracy theories and paranormal rumors.
Yeah, I have heard that.
The airport has its share of oddities, murals featuring apocalyptic imagery, creepy gargoyles, and a blue horse statue known as Lucifer,
Oh my God. I didn't know that.
which famously killed its creator when it fell on him.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Some claim that the airport is built over a secret underground bunker that houses the Illuminati or extraterrestrial beings.
And the lizard people.
Sure.
Hmm.
Ghost sightings and strange occurrences have been reported, with travelers sharing stories of hearing footsteps and voices in isolated areas of the airport. And others claim to have seen mysterious figures lurking around the terminals.
I want
Now,
to go. Let's
there's
go investigate the airport.
there's a guy on YouTube. I'll have to find the videos and send it to you. But he is, I don't know if he's a pastor or used to be a pastor. The whole Denver airport, he just wants to say everything is Satan. It's
Oh,
like,
okay.
it's something on there is like phallic shaped. And he's like, this is the penis. And down here are the
Oh, the
balls.
penis
And
of Satan? The penis of
well,
Satan?
the airport, yeah, it was something like that, that because of the
Oh,
shape of
okay.
different things, it's like sexualizing Lucifer and all this weird stuff.
That's weird.
If you ask me, that man is far more paranormal than the Denver airport.
Probably.
Yeah. And finally, along the winding roads of Highway 285, locals tell of a phantom hitchhiker who's been seen by multiple drivers over the years. The story goes that a young woman dressed in white attempts to hitchhike along the highway. Once someone stops and offers her a ride, she gets in, but shortly afterward, she disappears without a trace, often in a cloud of cold air. Many people claim to have picked her up only to have her vanish before reaching the next town. Some believe she was a victim of a tragic car accident that still haunts the highway. I believe that there was something similar to this, maybe even the first episode of Supernatural.
Yes, it was. It was the first episode.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of phantom hitchhiker stories. We should do a whole episode on it at one point because they're everywhere.
Yeah, I feel like every state has the woman in white that disappears story.
Yeah. I just saw something out of the corner of my eye and I thought it was Ellie, but she's behind me in the chair.
What was it?
It looked like a white ball of fluff, like my dog,
Oh,
but she wasn't there.
was it Boogie?
It might have been. Maybe Boogie's coming to see me.
Yeah.
Hi, Booger Butt. Are you coming to see me? You're welcome here. Ellie has been barking,
Oh.
but she's barking out my window, which makes me think there's a black-eyed kid out my window.
I promise you there's not.
Which hopefully that'll make sense because I haven't edited that episode yet. So I don't know if it will
Make it in there?
if we'll actually use it because I'm hoping the audio quality is good.
That's true. Yeah. That's an iffy episode for us.
We'll see.
We will see. So the first resort we're going to talk about is Purgatory Ski Resort.
Could you not think of a better name?
Well, I didn't
That
name
doesn't
it.
seem. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to whoever they are, them.
If you've ever visited Purgatory Ski Resort near Durango, Colorado, you know it's more than just a place to shred the slopes. There's something magical, maybe even a little mystical about it. From its intriguing name, breathtaking setting in the San Juan Mountains, Purgatory has a story worth telling. Let's rewind to 1965. That's when Purgatory Ski Resort first opened its doors, or should I say, its lifts.
Oh,
The resort was the brainchild of a businessman named Ray Duncan and a group of visionary investors. Their goal? To create a ski haven that felt both family friendly and world class.
and they got Ghost.
Yeah, they picked the perfect spot. Purgatory is nestled at about 8,800 feet with over 1,600 skiable acres. I have a tarp hung up like
Uh-huh.
behind our bed,
Yeah.
and it just started like
Did you get my snap from this
I
morning?
did, I did. Crazy.
So this morning I was making my coffee and I have this just little wire, little coffee display that sits right by on the wall with my coffee maker. And it's only hung up by two hooks at the top. And if you touch it, it moves. But it's kind of in an awkward spot. So you don't ever really touch it. But I made my coffee and I went to go throw away the old pod and the Splenda packets that I use. And as I turned around to walk back, that thing, the little coffee symbol was shaking, like vibrating back and forth. And I like tried to recreate it. Like I opened my cabinet and closed it. Let's again, I do the same thing every morning and it's never seen it move. And there was nothing I could do to make it shake again. Just my foot, my vibrations of walking doesn't do it. Nothing could make it shake again. So I have no idea why it was shaking.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know what made this tarp just all like suddenly just start waving, but okay.
Okay.
Where was I?
I don't know.
Okay, so with over 1,600 skiable acres that offer a little something for everyone, whether you're a beginner snow plowing down the greens or a powder hound tackling the double black diamonds. But what really sets this resort apart is its name, Purgatory. Sounds like the title of a ghost story, doesn't it?
It does.
Well, it kind of is.
I also just want to point out that you said that they intended to open this to be like a family friendly resort. In in what world did they think Purgatory was a good name for a family friendly resort?
Well, the name comes from the nearby Purgatory Flats and a river the Spanish explorers called the River of Lost Souls in Purgatory. Now, they actually called it that in Spanish, but I'm not even going to attempt it because I will completely butcher it.
That's fair.
I think from now on, when I have Spanish words I can't pronounce, I'm going to contact a good friend of mine who speaks Spanish and I'm going to record her pronouncing it. And then I will just hold that up into the microphone.
Smart. We should have done that for the Christmas lore episode. We should have done that with Stefan,
Yeah.
my friend, because he is from Sweden and he could have pronounced some of those Swedish words
Yeah.
for us.
I might do that. I might see if she's willing to do it. But she doesn't really like a lot of scary stuff. So some of it she might not be willing to do.
You'll tell her what it is, and she'll be like, "No, I'm not saying that."
I was was just about to say, I won't tell her what it is. I'll just ask her how to pronounce it as if she won't know what it means as she's saying it. It's been a long, long week, people. I know it's Monday, but I'm talking. Is it?
It's Tuesday.
I know it's Tuesday, but I'm talking about starting last Tuesday to this Tuesday.
That's fair.
Legend has it the name honors early settlers who vanished in the area, leaving behind tales of lost spirits wandering the wilderness. Talk about skiing with a side of spooky. Over the
Mm,
decades, Purgatory has seen its fair share of changes. It's passed through different owners, each adding their own touch. Most recently, James Coleman, a ski industry veteran, took over in 2015. Under his leadership, the resort has flourished with new lifts, better snowmaking, and expanded terrain.
okay.
And while winter is the main draw, Purgatory has evolved into a year round playground. Summer brings mountain biking, hiking, zip lining, and scenic chairlift rides. It's become a four seasons destination that balances modern amenities with its rugged old school charm.
That sounds fun. Let's go in the summer.
Sure. I mean, I can't ski. I would kill myself if I tried to ski.
Yeah. I want to go zip lining. Zip lining's fun.
Yeah.
Have you ever been zip lining?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Sounds like it.
I've been twice in Hawaii, both times. And I mean, I don't know if you could ever beat zip lining in Hawaii, but I'd be willing to try.
Probably New Zealand. Something like that would probably be pretty cool.
Yeah, I was more just talking about like, I don't think Colorado is going to beat my experience of zip lining in Hawaii, but
Yeah,
I'm sure it'll still be pretty.
of course. At its core, though, Purgatory remains true to its roots. It's still the family friendly ski resort, Day Runkin dreamed of, and it still carries the mystique of the River of Lost Souls. Whether you're craving fresh powder, taking in mountain views, or swapping ghost stories by the fire, Purgatory Ski Resort offers an experience you won't forget. So the next time you're in Colorado, strap on your skis, or maybe your courage, and head to Purgatory. Who knows? You might leave with more than just a great story.
Yeah. Sounds like a fun place in the summer.
Yes. Are you ready for some ghostly encounters at Purgatory?
Kelly, I was born ready.
All righty. Picture this.
I'm picturing.
You're skiing down one of Purgatory's pristine slopes at dusk. The mountain is quiet, except for the crunch of snow under your skis. Then, out of the corner of your eye, you see it, a dark shadow darting between the trees. You stop, look around, and there's nothing there.
Nope.
Stories like this are common at Purgatory. Guests and staff report seeing shadowy figures lurking in the woods or gliding across the slopes. Figures that vanish.
I'm out because I feel like it's Bigfoot.
Oh.
Or some other kind of bear.
Or figures that vanish into thin air. If there's one story that sends shivers down the spines of Purgatory visitors, it's the tale of the lost skier. The legend begins decades ago. During one of the harshest winters the San Juan Mountains had ever seen, a skier described as a young man with a love for off-the-beaten-path adventures.
Of course, it's a man.
Of course, decided to test his skills on Purgatory's backcountry terrain. Locals warned him about the dangers, avalanche, sudden storms, and disorienting wilderness, but he waved them off, eager for the thrill.
Kind of sounds like Dyatlov Pass.
Yeah.
But not in Russia.
As the story goes, the skier ventured out alone one evening. Why in the evening?
And why alone?
Right.
You can't even prove your badassness of going out and doing all of this if no one's there to watch you.
Correct. So he ventures out just as this storm is rolling in. When night fell, the snow intensified. He never returned. Rescue teams scoured the mountains for days, but the only sign they found was a single ski poking out of a snowdrift. No tracks, no clues. Just the eerie silence of the storm's aftermath.
Bigfoot got him.
Yeah.
Brought him home into the other portal for dinner for his family.
Yeah. Skiers and staff at Purgatory claim the young man has never really left. On certain cold moonlit nights, when the wind howls through the trees, people report seeing a lone figure at the end of the forest. Witnesses describe him as a shadowy silhouette, standing motionless as if watching. Others say they have seen him dart between the trees, always just out of reach. But the creepiest encounters? Those come from people who hear his voice, a faint, desperate cry for help carried on the wind.
Interesting.
One skier recounted an experience that still haunts them. They were on a late afternoon run just as the slopes were emptying. In the quiet, they heard a voice calling, "Over here, help me." Thinking it was someone in trouble, they followed the sound towards the trees. But as they got closer, the voice grew fainter, leading them deeper and deeper into the woods. Finally realizing they had gone off trail and seeing no one around, they turned back, only to feel the unmistakable sensation of being watched. The legend says the lost skier appears to those who venture too far from the marked trails, as if trying to warn them of the dangers he once ignored. Others believe he's simply trapped, endlessly reliving his final moments, searching for someone to help him and find his way home. So if you're ever at Purgatory and you hear a voice calling from the woods, maybe think twice before you follow.
So is the actual hotel itself not haunted, just the land surrounding it?
I'm getting there.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, if just the land is haunted, then it's not really on my list of places I want to go, because that just seems like a lot of work to investigate.
Yeah.
either I got to go skiing, which isn't ever going to happen, or in the summer, I got to go hiking, which,
Yeah. While the slopes at Purgatory Ski Resort offer. I don't have a tooth. I don't have a tooth. While the slopes at Purgatory Ski Resort offer thrills for skiers, the real chills might just be waiting for you inside the base lodge. This story, passed down among staff and seasoned visitors, centers on a ghostly presence that seemed to linger in the old building's quiet hours. The tale begins years ago in the 1970s, when the lodge was bustling with ski festivities. One cold winter evening, a young staff member, we'll call Emily, was closing up after a very busy day. Most of the guests had gone, and the lodge was eerily silent, except for the occasional creak of the wooden floors. Emily was finishing her duties when she noticed something odd. A single chair at one of the far tables was pulled out, facing away from the rest of the room.
weird.
Thinking nothing of it, she pushed it back under the table and moved on. But when she glanced back just moments later, the chair was out again.
And she didn't hear it.
Now, assuming it was a trick of her imagination, or maybe one of her coworkers playing a prank, she ignored it and continued closing up. That's when she heard it. Faint footsteps echoing in the empty hallway leading to the staff quarters. Hello? Oh, I'm sorry. I can't just say hello. I got to do a proper Tanner from Project Fear.
Okay, go.
Hello? She called
Hello?
out. She called out, but no one answered. She walked down the dimly lit corridor, her footsteps blending with the soft creaks of the floor. The air grew colder as she approached the end of the hallway, where a small window overlooked the snowy slopes. Suddenly, she saw it, a shadowy figure reflected in the glass standing just behind her. She spun around, but the hallway was empty. Emily wasn't the only one with a story. Over the years, other staff members have reported strange occurrences in the base lodge, chairs moving on their own, lights flicker in the rooms with no electrical issues. And then there are the footsteps, always late at night, always in that same hallway. One veteran employee shared their theory. The ghost might be the spirit of a long forgotten worker or guest who loved the resort so much they never wanted to leave. Others believe it could be tied to the lodge's proximity to the legendary River of Lost Souls. Whatever the explanation, one thing is clear. If you find yourself alone in the base lodge after dark, you might not be as alone as you think.
Interesting. Okay, I'll go there. Not high
Yeah.
on my list, but I'll add it to the bottom.
Now, not everyone is convinced that these stories are supernatural, obviously. Skeptics argue the mountain environment plays tricks on your senses, with wind howling through the trees or snow crunching in the distance, and that the shadows they see darting in between the trees is just cast from the moonlight and the trees like moving in the wind.
Okay.
That was a whole sentence that made no sense, but you know.
It's okay. You got there.
But isn't that what the spirits would want you to think?
It is.
Yeah. So whether you believe in ghosts or not, one thing's for sure, Purgatory Ski Resort is a place where history, legend, and mystery collide.
Okay. Like I said, I'll add it to the bottom of the list of
Yeah, very
places to
bottom.
go. Yeah.
So we have another, so this one's interesting. It's a resort, but it's more of a whole town.
Ooh, I like haunted towns.
Yes. It has a personality all of its own. It's not your flashy high rise resort like Aspen or Vale. No, Crested Butte has kept its roots with its colorful Victorian storefront, welcoming locals, and a laid back vibe. It feels like stepping in to a postcard from another time. I cannot tell you how fucking hard it is to read and talk without a tooth.
Yeah. Well, hopefully your thing will be here. This will be the last episode that we have to record without a tooth.
I hope so. Crested Butte wasn't always about skiing. Back in the 1800s, this area was a booming coal mining town. Miners flocked here to work the seams, while ranchers made a living in the lush Gunnison Valley. But as the mines dried up in the mid 1900s, so did the town. For a while, Crested Butte was almost a ghost town. Then, in 1961, everything changed. A ski area was built on the Mount Crested Butte, sparking a new chapter for the town. Skiers from all over were drawn to its unique mix of challenging terrain and breathtaking scenery. And Crested Butte's commitment to preserving its small town charm kept them coming back. Crested Butte is famous for its extreme terrain. It's a dream come true for the expert skiers and snowboarders, with runs like Rambo, the steepest cut run in North America, and countless backcountry opportunities. But don't worry if you're not ready to go full adrenaline junkie.
I'm not.
The resort has plenty of beginner and intermediate runs too, making it perfect for all skill levels.
I don't even know if I'm ready for those. I'm ready to drink wine by the fire inside the hotel.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
And the adventure doesn't stop when the snow melts. In the summer, Crested Butte transforms into the wildflower capital of Colorado.
Ooh, that sounds pretty.
Yeah, picture fields of vibrant flowers stretching as far as the eye can see. Perfect for hiking, mountain biking, or just soaking up the scenery.
That last one.
Yeah. Now let's zoom in on the town.
Okay.
Crested Butte is the epitome of cozy mountain vibes. Its historic downtown is designated a National Historic District, filled with colorful buildings, quirky shops, and some seriously good food. Now that's what I want to do.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's go there.
Quirky shops, I'm in.
And good food?
Great food?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Think locally owned cafes, craft breweries, and even a historic saloon or two. Now that would be fun.
Yeah, I love historic saloons.
Crested Butte loves a good party as well, whether it's the Wildflower Festival in July.
Ooh, that sounds pretty.
Yeah. The quirky Vintock Festival in the fall.
What's a Vintock?
I have no idea. Let's look.
Celebration of the Harvest Mother and Vinotock booth. That doesn't really help me.
Nope.
It's the Autumn Equinox Festival celebrating nature, community, and harvest. Yeah, let's go there. We'll go to that. That sounds fun.
Yeah. Or they also have the annual AI Johnson, no, AI, Al. Don't put that in.
Oh, I'm totally leaving that one
in. They also have the annual Al Johnson Memorial Uphill Downhill Race, a costume ski race that is as hilarious as it is heart pounding.
Yeah, I'm cool to watch that, but I'm not participating.
No. I hope they don't mean you ski uphill, because that would just be hard.
Is it in the winter?
It's an uphill downhill race. I don't know. It just says the annual.
Oh, because if it was in the winter, then maybe ski. But I don't know. Can you ski uphill? It's more like,
well, it does have a costume ski race. It's a costume ski race, so it would have to be in the winter.
Interesting. Yeah.
What really sets Crested Butte apart, though, is its spirit. This is a town that's fiercely proud of its independence. It's not about luxury or status. It's about community, adventure, and a deep connection to the mountains. Crested Butte reminds us of why we love the mountains in the first place. It's authentic, it's wild, and it's a place where the past and present exist in perfect harmony. Harmony.
I don't even know what word you said to begin with.
Harmony. I said harmony.
Harmony.
It's really hard to talk without a tooth.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Now let's get into some spooky things.
Okay.
All right. Crested Butte's origins lie in coal mining, and with mining came danger. Accidents were tragically common, and many workers lost their lives in the dark, suffocating tunnels beneath the town.
That's petrifying.
Some say one miner's spirit never made it out. The story takes place near what used to be one of the town's largest coal mines. Locals tell of a miner who died in a collapse, trapped deep underground. His coworkers tried desperately to rescue him, but days passed and the mine was deemed too unstable to continue the search. The miner's body was never recovered.
Okay. That's not good. Poor miner.
Yeah. Fast forward to the modern day Crested Butte. People living near the old mine claim they've seen a shadowy figure wandering the site late at night, wearing what looks like old mining gear.
Okay.
Others report hearing the rhythmic clink of a pickaxe striking rock, even though the mine has been abandoned for decades. One particularly eerie account comes from a couple hiking in the area. They spotted a man standing near the mine's entrance, staring into the darkness. When they called out to him, he turned around and vanished into thin air. The locals believe the miner's spirit is still searching for a way out, or perhaps to warn others of the dangers lurking below. I mean, if he was on the outside of the mine, it sounds like he already found his way out.
Yeah, kind of.
So there's also a hotel in the town
Okay. That's where I want to go
that
stay.
has some activity. Yeah. So our second story takes us to the heart of Crested Butte's historic downtown, where the Forest Queen Hotel stands as a relic of the town's mining era heyday. Built in the late 1800s, this quaint hotel has welcomed travelers for over a century, but not all of them have checked out. Legend has it the Forest Queen is haunted by the spirit of a woman known simply as the Lady in Red.
Oh, I could love a good
Uh,
lady in red.
right. According to the story, she was a saloon worker who lived and died at the hotel during the boomtown days. Some say her death was an accident. Others whisper it was foul play. Guests and staff have reported countless strange occurrences over the years. Footsteps echo in the empty hallways, doors open and close on their own, and there is the unmistakable scent of perfume, floral and sweet, wafting through the air with no source in sight.
Hmm.
One guest recounted waking up in the middle of the night to see a figure in a red dress standing at the foot of their bed. She didn't speak, didn't move. She just stared before slowly fading away.
Oh, question. What would be your scent if you were a ghost and could emit one scent to make people think that it was you? What would it be?
I love a good bonfire.
Okay.
Like the scent of like a good bonfire at a campground or something. Yeah.
Okay. Mine would be the seasonal Bath and Body Works scent gingerbread bakery.
Oh. Well, Bath and Body Works had used to have a scent called Bonfire Bash, and that was my
Oh,
absolute favorite. So
yeah. So there
yeah.
you go. Yeah. Bath and Body Works for the win.
The lady in red is said to be a mostly harmless spirit, but her presence leaves an undeniable chill. Some believe she's looking for justice, while others think she simply can't let go of the life she knew at the Forest Queen.
Okay.
What do you think? You want to go stay there?
Yeah, I'll go there. That sounds better than the first place. I want to go to that
I thought
fall
so.
fall equinox festival thing. That sounds right up my alley.
Yeah, but I'd also like to see that uphill downhill costume ski race.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just spend a year out in Colorado.
No.
No?
No.
You don't want to spend just a whole year out there?
No, there's plenty of other places I'd rather spend a year if I was picking. Colorado is not at the top of the list, especially during the
Well, maybe
winter.
we
I do
need.
not want to be in Colorado during the winter.
I think it would be nice to get snowed in and have all the wine and the hot cocoa.
Yeah, but I can go take a trip and do that.
It is a trip. It's a year-long trip.
That's too long. I don't want to spend the whole winter there. I'm a baby now. I've
Oh,
only lived in Florida for a year and not even a half, but I'm a baby. I can't do cold anymore, Kelly.
you are quite whiny about it. That is for sure.
you get spoiled. I always thought that I would at least get through one full winter in Florida before I would start complaining about it being too cold, but it didn't happen. I complained last winter. I remember at my old job, I would be sitting there on like Teams calls or whatever, and they would be like, "Oh yeah, it's freezing here." I would say like, "Oh yeah, it's really cold here today," and they'd be like, "Oh really? How cold is it?" And I'm like, 48, and they'd be like, "It's 10 here." I'm like, "Well, why do you
Yeah.
choose to live in a place where it's 10 degrees? That's your own stupidity."
I can't do the heat.
Uh,
When I came to see you in July, the wildest thing to me was when we went to that ghost tour, that pub ghost tour. And I was so sweaty. Everything was stuck to my body. My bra, my shirt, my underwear, my shorts, my socks. I was drenched. I looked like I just stepped out of the shower. I was so stoked from the heat and the humidity. And that tour guide said, it's not too bad out today. I was like, get the hell out of here.
that was like a cooler summer evening. Once the sun went down, it was better. The problem is, and I do this too, is once you get hot, it's really hard to cool down. So even when the temperature drops, it's still really hard for your body to become unsweaty. So yes, the day that you were here was really hot, but that night by Florida summer nights was actually a pleasant night. We were just already soaked in sweat from the day.
And we were also drinking all night too.
Oh,
So,
we were.
and that brings us to the end of this episode about Colorado's haunted winter resorts. To the eerie happenings at Crested Butte and Purgatory ski resort, these Colorado mountain towns prove that the slopes aren't the only place to get your adrenaline pumping. Whether it's a lost skier calling from the woods, a mysterious miner wandering an abandoned site, or a lady in red lingering at the Forest Queen Hotel, these stories remind us of the echoes left behind from those who came before. Maybe it's the isolation, the unforgiving wilderness, or something else entirely. But one thing is for sure, these mountains are alive with more than just the wind.
And if you liked what you heard today and on all of our other episodes, please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts because it helps get us more listeners and allows us to continue bringing you these really spooky, amazing, fun stories.
Yes, and hopefully next time we speak, I will have a tooth.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Not My Ghost Podcast and on Facebook at Not My Ghost, Not My Problem. We post updates, photos, and more.
And if you really love listening to us, you should consider joining our Patreon page where we offer some pretty good perks for our supporters. We have early episodes. We do a bonus mini episode every month that we actually record video. So you get to see our beautiful smiling faces. And we let you vote on episode topics. I think we were talking about at some point doing like a live get together with all of us. So that'll be really fun. There's a Discord page that you can join and talk. Kelly's actually getting better at going on and responding to Discord. So you'll get to talk to both of us. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And if you have ever had a spine-tingling paranormal encounter yourself, please email us at notmyghostpodcast@gmail.com. And you most likely at this point will be featured on a future paranormal postcard episode because we need more stories. So please send us all of your spooky stories because we want to hear them and we want to read them for everyone else to hear.
Right. I want more stories about Katrona's son.
Yes. Katrona, calling on you. Send us more stories. And Birdie, Birdie, I want those hellhound stories.
Send them in.
Send us the hellhounds, Birdie.
They were so fun.
I need to hear more.
Well, thank you for joining us on this chilling exploration of the haunted winter resorts. Remember, as you glide down the slopes of these ski resorts, keep this in mind.
If it's not your slope,
it's not your problem.
Until next time, stay spooky.
And stay skeptical.